Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Okay, I will take your PSM theory. Okay. In the last class, I think we were discussing about mortality and morbidity, right? PSM theory, mortality or morbidity, we were discussing about that, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Hmm?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. What points did we finish? Crude death rate over.
Ma'am, you gave 3 points.
Huh?
Mortality expectation of life, and infant mortality rate. IMR.
Kiki, what? Crude death rate, then expectation of life
And infant mortality rate.
okay, infant, not mortality, 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 mortality rate. Mortality means, what do you mean by mortality? What is mortality? Say first, what is mortality?
Man is mortal.
No.
মানে হৰু মানে 1 year পৰা 0 পৰা 1 year মানে
Mortality মানে কি? Infant mortality rate নহয়. Mortality মানে কি?
death
No, death rate. আৰু morbidity মানে? What is morbidity? Morbidity মানে?
ৰোগৰ সংখ্যা
Okay. So we have discussed about crude death rate, expectation of life, then age-specific death rate, or infant mortality rate. Okay, next point likha, child mortality rate. Next point likha. Next point to sign number point hoy no? Huh? Okay, point number 4 you write down child mortality rate. Child, C-H-I-L-D, child mortality rate. Child mortality rate. Write down. Another indicator related to another indicator related to another indicator related to another indicator related to the overall health status
health
status S-T-A-T-U-S to the overall health status S-T-A-T-U-S health status is the early childhood bracket or likha 1 to 5 years of age. In bracket you write down 1 to 5 years of age. One to 5 years of age. Close the bracket and then you write mortality rate. 1 to 5 years of age, mortality rate, RAT. Mortality rate. Mortality means death. Okay. Mortality rate. Full stop. Full stop. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Okay. Another indicator related to the overall health status is the early childhood. In bracket you write down 1 to 5 years of age. From 1 to 5 years of age group children. Okay. 1 to 5 years of age. Close the bracket and then you write mortality rate. 1 to 5 years of age, mortality rate, RAT rate, full stop. Then you write, it is defined as the It is defined as the number of deaths. It is defined as the number of deaths. DEATHS. It is defined as the number of deaths at ages.
That's
Number of deaths at ages. 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 Okay, at ages. AGES. At ages 1 to 5 years. At ages 1 to 5 years. 1 to 5 years in a given year. 1 to 5 years in a given year. YEAR. In a given year. Comma.
Hello,
In a,
ma'am. Can't hear you. Can you repeat again?
huh?
Can you repeat again?
Repeat. It is defined as the number of deaths. It is defined as the number of deaths. DEATHS. It is defined as the number of deaths 1 to 5 years. Number of deaths 1 to 5 years in a given year. In a given year. YEAR. In a given year. In a given year. YEAR year. Comma. Per 1000. Per 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 1000 1000 per 1000 children. Per 1000 children. CHILDREN. Children in that age group. In that age group. In that age group. Full stop. So in child mortality rate, okay, you will just have to find out that in between 1 to 5 years of age, okay, how many children are dead and how many children are still living. You just need to find out the rate, okay, every year. In 2019 also they have taken out a rate. In the last 2018 also they should have taken the rate. So even in 2020 also at the end of the year, okay, when December month will end, at that time by January they will count the rate. They will see the rate, okay, that how many children between the age group of 1 bosor to 5 bosor are dead. They will just find out the rate, okay, per 1000 live births. Every year they should take out. Infant also, okay, below 1 year of age also they should take out every year. Then for children also they will take out every year, okay. Next you write next point you write down. Number 5th point you write under 5 proportionate mortality rate. Under 5 proportionate mortality rate. Under 5 means within under 5 years of age, okay. Under 5 mortality, proportionate mortality rate. Proportionate. Under 5 proportionate mortality rate. Proportionate. PORTIONAT. Under 5 proportionate mortality rate. Put a dash and write down. It is the proportion. So see, I have already uploaded the notes in the ERP, okay, for both theory and practical. Into like every day I'm giving you the notes, Okay, because in that note, what is there in that ERP notes, I have given many things. So etia moi okman kom ke di asu. Okay, I'm making the notes a bit smaller. Okay, and only the important things I'm giving you. So you better write down the notes properly. Okay, and later you don't need to open your ERP and go through the notes. Okay, with these notes only you can just give the exam. Okay, if you want you can also see the notes, no problem. Okay. Write down, it is the proportion of total deaths. It is the proportion of total deaths, DATHs. It is the proportion of total deaths occurring under 5 years of age group. Occurring under 5 years of age group. Occurring under 5 years of age group.
Occurring meaning to ki hoy ma'am?
OCCURING. Occurring money, like I will tell you later on. ठीक है, तुम्हारा first note to लिखी लूँगा, then I will tell you.
Okay ma'am.
Occurring, OCCURING, occurring under 5 years of age group, GROUP. 5 years of age group, full stop. This rate can RAT, this rate can be used to reflect, this rate can be used to reflect, REFLECT, can be used to reflect both infant and child mortality. Both infant and child mortality. Both infant, INFANT, both infant and child mortality rates. Both infant and child mortality rates. Full stop. In communities with poor hygiene, in communities with poor hygiene, HYGIENE, in communities with poor hygiene,
Again ma'am.
communities with poor hygiene, comma,
In communities.
in communities with poor hygiene, comma, the proportion, PROPORTION, the proportion in communities with poor hygiene, comma, the proportion may exceed, EXCEED, the proportion may exceed, EXCEED, the proportion may exceed 60 per 1000 live births. 60 per 1000 live births, LIV, live births, BIRTHS. 60 per 1000 live births, full stop. 60 per 1000 live births. Full stop. In some European countries, in some European countries, EUROPEAN, in some European countries, COUNTRIES, in some European countries, comma, in some European countries, comma, in some European countries, comma, the proportion is less than LESS, the proportion is less than the proportion is less than the proportion is less than 2 per 1000 live births. In some European countries, comma, the proportion PROPORTION, the proportion is less than LESS, is less than 2 per 1000 live births. 2 per 1000 live births. BIRTHS. 2 per 1000 live births. Full stop. 2 per 1000 live births. Full stop. Okay, so under 5 proportionate mortality rate of ki hoy that you can find out the rate of both infant and child. Okay, every year. Every year you can find out the rate of both infant also and tumar child also. Okay, under 5 means all the children under the age group of 5 years. You can take out the rate of both. Okay, every year. And what is written? That in communities with poor hygiene, okay, there are certain communities like for example our India, our India to keep it is a developing country. It is not a developed country. Okay, so most of the developing countries, what happens, there is lack of communication, okay, lack of hospital, lack of hygiene, lack of health facilities. Okay, so because of all this you can see 60 per 1000 live births, mane 1000, if 1000 children are living then out of that 60% of the children under 5 are dying. ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু in European countries also only 2 per 1000, মানে only 2% are dying, কিন্তু 1000 people are still living. You can see the difference here. 60% are dying and there only 2%, such a huge difference, 60 or 2. Okay, so it is because of the lack of health facilities, okay, lack of proper nutrition, hygiene, okay, and many other factors. Okay, there is no birth control. Okay, so because of all these reasons bahute bachchabor under 5 years of age they used to die. Okay, so in under 5 you can find out the rate of both, that is infant or tumar child mortality rate. You can find out the rate of both the age groups. Okay, next point likha. It is 6 number point hoy na? Which number is this? 1 2
6.
6 8 ya 7 no? 7 number hoy na etia?
No, ma'am, 6 number.
6 number. Okay, 6, write down 6. Adult mortality rate. Sorry, adult mortality rate likha. Adult, ADULT. You all are adult or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Or else you are infant. Adult. Okay. Write down adult mortality rate. ADULT, adult mortality rate. Mortality mane? What is mortality? Hamida?
Death.
Yes. To likha adult mortality rate. Dash dia. Underline kora aru eta dash dia likha. The adult mortality rate is defined. The adult mortality rate is defined. The adult mortality rate is defined as the adult mortality rate is defined as the rate of dying is defined as the rate of dying, RAT, rate of dying, DYING, rate of dying between the age of age boy between the age of 15 to 60 years, between the age group of 15 to 60 years, between the age group of 15 to 60 years, 15 to 60 years per 1000 per 1000 population per 1000 population 1000 per 1000 population, full stop. The rate of dying, RATE, the rate of dying, DYING, the rate of dying mute yourself. The rate of dying in adulthood is greater for the rate of dying in adulthood, the rate of dying in adulthood, ADULT, HOOD, adulthood. The rate of dying in adulthood is greater for men, GREATER, is greater for men, 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 is greater for men than for women, WOMEN, than for women in almost all the countries. In almost all the countries, COUNTRIS, in almost all the countries. The rate of dying in adulthood is greater for men, MEN, man, than for women in almost all the countries, COUNTRIS, countries, full stop. So adult mortality rate ki hoy same like infant or child, okay, between the age group of 15 to 60 years, okay, adult, how many adults are dying per year, you just need to find out the rate per 1000 population, okay, out of 1000 population how many adults are dying between the age group of 15 bosor to 60 bosor, you just need to find out the rate, okay. Aru yat likha ase that the rate of dying, okay, for men is greater than women. Why do you think so? Anybody? Why do you think that men are dying more than women in almost all countries, developed or underdeveloped or if you're developing countries, you find that men are dying more than women. Why do you think so? Hmm? Why do you think so? Ananya Bora? No answer. Johnson Lukyam?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think that men are dying more than women in almost all the countries? Hmm? Hmm?
Because
Manoj Chetri?
men are in extra labor.
The network is very bad. Manoj Chetri, you tell. Why do you think? Nobody. Other sections, so they have given me so many answers, like why the reasons, like you all should also give me some reasons, like why do you think? Use your brain and tell me. Jeet,
Yes, ma'am.
why do you think the rate of men dying are more than women? Message with Nidiba. You tell me with your mouth.
Alcohol
Say Jeet. Yes, consumption of alcohol. Then
Heart attack, ma'am.
and tobacco,
heart attack. How?
alcohol, smoking, maybe.
Yes, alcohol, smoking. Then accidents, especially bike accidents, right?
Yeah, yes,
Now
ma'am.
it is mandatory for everyone to wear helmets. Kintu agote uh, many of the young boys, they used to wear helmets and they used to do rush driving, because of which there were so many cases in the hospital. Okay, all data means all young boys, they are admitted in the hospitals. Okay, some of them are in OPD, okay, for treatment. Some of them, they are admitted to the ICUs. Why? Because of accident case, mainly bike accidents. Okay, it's very much risky. And some of them, they even used to go to coma for at least 1 month to 2 months. One boy, he went to coma for at least 2 bosor. Okay, so it very much you all should be very much careful, especially with all these bikes, because these are two-wheelers, so it's a bit risky than the four-wheeler vehicles. Okay, you all should wear helmets and you should not do rash driving. Okay. And anybody else? Anybody else want to share anything? Abhijit Shivam. Hmm? Kwako? Even if it's wrong, what's there? It's just a discussion. You can just discuss. There's nothing in it. Kintu ei status noy chat shot nidiba. What is this? Ma'am, heart attack hobo cause never heard some women died because of heart attack. What is this? Say what might be the other causes. Hmm?
Avoid doctors.
They avoid doctors. Why?
কাৰণ বিজি থাকে
Huh?
নাই মেম একো নহয়
No answer. All these answers though from boys' side it should come, because from other sections, from other departments, they had so many answers to say. Yes, usage of drugs. Okay, many of them are drug addicted. That is very much bad. So, okay, you all find out the reason by yourself. Okay, you will just know the common reasons. And because of all these things, like in almost all the countries, the rate of men dying are more than women. Women also they die, of course, but the reasons might be different than men. Okay, but the rate of men dying is more than women. Okay. Next point likha, maternal mortality rate. 8 number point you write down, maternal mortality rate. Maternal means at the time of pregnancy. Okay, maternal mortality rate. In bracket you can write down MMR. I can ask you, okay, what is the full form of MMR? Then you should know maternal mortality rate. Maternal. Put a dash and write down. Maternal mortality accounts for maternal mortality accounts for maternal mortality accounts for ACCOUNTS accounts for the greatest proportion greatest GREATEST the greatest proportion of deaths DEATHS greatest proportion of deaths among women WOMEN among women of reproductive age REPRODUCTIV reproductive age in most of the developing countries. In most of the developing countries, DEVELOPING, in most of the developing countries. So you see that in most of the developing countries, like for example our India, we are developing country. Okay, we see that the rate of women dying during their reproductive age is very, very high. Okay, maybe because of anemia, maybe because of lack of nutrition. Okay, they don't to go to hospitals. Okay, at the time of pregnancy they should always go for regular checkup, but they used to avoid regular checkups. Okay, so because of which what happens that the rate of women dying during their reproductive age, especially during pregnancy, is very much high in the developing countries. Okay, aru besi bacha like if they have more than, if they exceed more than 2 to 3 children, they used to have lots of complications. Okay, because of all these reasons also they used to suffer a lot, and also they used to suffer from anemia. Anemia is iron deficiency. Okay, lack of iron in the body. Okay, lack of hemoglobin, lack of iron. So what happens during that time, the women undergoes lots of complications. Okay, and they need to go for regular health checkup. They need to take nutritious diet. They need to take medicines at the right time. They should take iron rich food. Okay, iron rich food. What are iron rich food? Cascol. Okay, oh, bananas. Okay, all those raw bananas, all these are rich in iron. Kosu. Okay, all these are rich in iron. Spinach mane lai hak ebur. Okay, so all these are very much rich in high iron, because of which the mother should be advised to have all those things. Okay, and even jackfruit. Okay, raw jackfruits. So all these are rich in iron. So all these nutritious diets should be provided to the mothers, but because of many reasons If they are not able to take in proper nutrition, then it might lead to, ultimately it might lead to death of the mother and the child. Okay, so this is the reason for maternal mortality rate. So in the next class, we will discuss about 2 more points. The 3 points are there. We will discuss in the next class. Aru 11 pora at 11 a.m. I will take your FA practical class. Okay, you don't have any class during 11, so I will take your class at 11 a.m. Okay, along with section A. FA practical. I will start with a new unit, BLS or CPR. Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.